I'm with Alex from Arcworld, who's designed not a war game, not a role-playing game. Can you tell us more about it?
So, when coming up with my game, I wanted to take the aspects that I enjoy from role-playing games and the aspects I enjoy from wargaming and just put them together. So the main concept of the game is it's all about the narrative. It's about using the miniatures on the board and using the rules to create a story of the event rather than just one side kills the other side. It's about making those fun, memorable moments that you'll talk about after the game and that you can really use to create the characters that you've come up with.
Okay, so if it's a narrative game, but it's without a GM, right? It's just you and an opponent.
Well, it can be GM'd, but it's part of it is being self-GM'd. So it requires a lot of trust, it requires a lot of understanding with your opponent. It's meant to be a game for friends. It's not something you would take to a tournament and play against someone who absolutely wants to win at all costs. As I said, it's the story that is the most important thing, so you have to have a little bit of leeway, you have to have a little bit of understanding. In fact, one of the core rules of the game, which is the first one that's in the book, is the Gentlefolks Code of Conduct. It means that you need to just have fun. It's meant to be a game for fun. Just don't play like someone who would do anything at all costs to win. It requires understanding. It's a game for friends. Because at the end of the day, we are grown people playing with toy soldiers. Like, why the hell would we try and undermine people? It's something that we do to have fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, assuming I've got somebody to play it with, do I have to come up with a scenario or a story before the battle in order to tell the story?
You can do. You can come up with a scenario, but as part of the rules that will be available to download, you will have a set number of scenarios that I will have designed that you can play through, but part of the game is encouraging you as a player to use your imagination, not only with the game itself, but with the mechanics and also with the scenarios and the settings in which you have them.
Okay. Now, it's not just a rulebook, is it? You've got miniatures that go with this as well, yeah?
Yeah, so it is a miniatures-based game. There will be a range of miniatures available. Like on here, they are all hand-sculpted. I sculpt them myself and cast them in resin and metal. And the rule set will be downloadable online for free, and then it will give you a number of factions to play as, a number of monsters and mercenaries to play as, and it allows you to kind of customize those stats to build your own characters and use them in the game.
Those who know me know I'm into my minis, so I just want to take a little close look here and see some of the ones you've got going on. So, oh wow! I'll bring the camera in on this one. This is such a cute little doggy. Tell me about this one. What inspired this? Because I've never seen a pose like that.
So this is a troll hound, and this is for the halfling faction. And because obviously in this world there are lots of monsters and things that roam the countryside, and these are dogs that are specifically trained to fight off trolls and other marauding creatures that could harm a flock or livestock or anything like that. So he actually comes as part of this set. So he is, because one of the big things in the game is the use of animals and monsters and beasts, and each faction has their own or has a number of beasts that they can use at their disposal.
I have to say that is such a beautiful pose on that. I mean, it's so dynamic. I've never how did you come up with that pose?
Thank you very much. Well, a lot of my inspiration comes from the natural world, observing animals, observing how they act, especially on documentaries and photographs and stuff like that. And I just wanted to, one of the challenges for me as a sculptor is to come up with lifelike and dynamic poses for creatures that don't exist. So nature is a big inspiration for me when coming up with creatures. I mean, and a dog is one of the easier models in terms of design that I've had to do, because I based the design on a big mastiff, but when looking at trolls and dragons and any other creatures that I come up with, I do take nature as a big inspiration.
Yeah, I mean it is a stunning model. Now this guy here, can I pick him up? Yes, is that okay? I'm gonna get a closer look. So is this a troll, I presume?
This is a troll, yeah.
Got a little birdie on the bit. All right, look, I'll put it down so you can get the camera on that. Check out the little birdie, and there's it's knocking the scenery. There's a henchman down here as well. Looks like he's being crushed. That is so cute. This is really remarkable work. Wow, I'm loving the style of your models.
Thank you
Like, if I just wanted to buy the models, like, because I kind of do.
Yeah. All of these are available to buy over the course of this weekend. So these are the first 2 factions that are available. As I said, eventually there will be 12 playable factions. But we're selling starter sets this weekend, where you get the elves, the halflings, and also some crystals which are used in the game as like power tokens and stuff like that. We're also selling the troll, and we're also these dice that we used to play the game as well.
I am actually blown away by your sculpting, especially the Mastiff. He is so adorable. It's just the pose. It's just incredible. So fantastic on that. Now the game itself, is this a new game out?
So the first edition of Arcworld actually came out in 2013. I started when I was at university. I always had to rely on other people to do my rules writing before, because I was studying at the time, and they never got it quite right. It was a purely kind of wargaming game. I felt like it didn't really represent the world how I imagined it, so about 6 months ago I decided to take the plunge and actually rewrite the whole thing from scratch myself. And I've been working on that since then, and it's been getting some really good feedback, not only from new players, but from existing collectors of the range who have really I've taken a lot of their feedback into account, and I think they're really enjoying the way that the game is going, which is good for me, because I was quite worried that people were like, it's rubbish, we preferred the old system. So yeah, it's been really fun, and I've been enjoying being doing a bit of game design, as well as doing the sculpting, the painting, the artwork, and the graphic design as well.
Do you have a little bit here?
No,
we've got these kind of things going on. These are presumably some kind of unit card, are they?
Yes. So these will be downloadable when the game goes live, and these allow you to kind of track the various things that your model would have. There's a name section, so you would name each of the models in your warband. Then you'd have various abilities, items, and things you can equip them. And it also allows you to track wounds and gives you a bit of a reference for the various attacks and things that they can do in the game.
So it's like almost a light RPG.
Yeah, very much so. It's, as I said, I wanted to take parts of the art of RPGs that I enjoyed and parts of wargaming that I enjoyed and just put them together.
Really?
Thank you very much.
I'm going to have to give this a go.
Hello, my name is Alex Huntley from Warploque Miniatures. Please donate to the Butterfly Project.